With the Retina display, and I think the thing that people love about Retina display is how vibrant everything looks, and particularly, you know, when we're seeing 48% more colors in our new screen. They're gonna love that. The other part is, of course, iPhone photos. So these ones were all shot on iPhone. This one was iPhone XS. Likewise was this one. So not only, of course, are people taking their photos on the most popular camera in the world, they're very quickly getting them onto their Mac and enjoying them on the Retina display. The other thing I think, in terms of showing off those colors, is for people that perhaps work in a design world. So I might just get rid of the trash so it's not in the background. Particularly if you're a graphic designer working with an artwork like this, having that full sRGB in the screen really helps you kind of appreciate all of the colors that you're going to get out of the screen. So quite like that one. And in terms of the type of work that people do on a MacBook Air, this particular piece of art is quite significant in that there's sort of a little hidden gem up here where they've kind of kept going and kept going. And so, you know, when they say the MacBook Air is the kind of computer that you can take with you and do it all, they really mean it. I think this ends up zooming, that'll be about 65 million% zoomed in on that image. Then the other thing people love to do with Retina display is, of course, read, and we do so much reading on the Mac, right? So with the Retina display, as we know, text just looks crisp and clear, just like it was printed on a page. And so whether you're, you know, super into cars or perhaps catching up on a story that you sort of wanted to learn more about later, the text is just really natural and easy to read. So they're kind of the main things around the Retina display, and I think the other thing that people are going to be super interested in around MacBook Air is the Touch ID sensor. So Touch ID means, of course, we can do things like make secure payments on the web, and like you said, so quickly and effortlessly that it looks like nothing happened at all. So just with a simple resting my finger on the sensor, that'll make the payment. And we can do that with third-party apps as well, so it's integrated into third-party apps like 1Password. Same again, that fingerprint is going to get me straight into all of my passwords and any of the other secure information that I've stored in the Mac. So next up is the keyboard. So the Touch ID sensor is not the only thing the keyboard got. The keyboard, of course, is now the Apple-designed keyboard that we've had in some of our other notebooks for a few years. This is the third generation of that keyboard, and it is an absolute delight to type on. For MacBook Air users, they're going to love the 4 times more stability, but I think they're also going to love, particularly when they're working in a variety of lighting environments, they're going to love the backlight. So this uses our new backlight where every single key has a micro LED under it that's perfectly tuned for that key. I switched into dark mode while we're talking because I think another new feature of Mojave, which is just amazing, is dark mode. The way, particularly somewhere like Mail, if you're focusing on those words, the new color scheme we're using, the toolbar just kind of get away into the background so you can focus. And then I've got Force Touch trackpad. So the keyboard, we moved to the trackpad. We've got the all new Force Touch trackpad for MacBook Air, 20% bigger. So we've got more room for the gestures that we're used to, like a force press to get a little bit more detail. And of course things like the ability to, let's go full screen on that for sure. The ability to pinch to zoom, or you need to move around that map. Particularly if we wanted to get public transport anywhere around here. So that's the Retina display, the Apple design keyboard, and the Force Touch trackpad. And I think the last thing that we heard about in the keynote was the speakers. And the speaker design team have done a phenomenal job giving us 2 times more bass and 25% more volume out of these speakers, as well as the Apple Feature Security chip has given us wide stereo audio. So we've got a new audio controller in there that's making that much more immersive. So particularly for someone that wants to be watching movies, like this one where we have action going from right to left, you really do feel the separation as the motorbike explodes and goes across the screen. And then also things like perhaps, you know, your musical movies, you really do feel like you're inside.